I hope this is reaching you guys well. It's Master Fija from uSpotGaming. I forget sometimes. I thought I'd preface this video with a little bit of a statement. So this week's deck profile video is a diversity build for Brunhild. And I put it together, I put the premise together for the deck build probably about 2 weeks before the release of Decisive Battle of Valhalla, or thereabouts, pretty much right after they had released most of the details for the new Alice Resonator. And I put the deck build together, I shadow played it a few times, then I met up with Dayman. I think the day of release in Canada for Decisive Battle of Valhalla, and we recorded the video that you guys are about to see at that time. Now, fast forward a few weeks. A member of the Force of Will group or subreddit on Reddit made an awesome diversity Brunhild deck, and it had some interesting mechanics in it that I hadn't considered, specifically in the domain of stones. So I decided to update the deck, but it didn't. There was a lot of really funny shit that Dayman did in the original video recording. So what I'm going to be doing for this one is I'm pretty much just going to be taking the original snippets, and then I'm going to include new recorded content to kind of supplement any changes that I made. Like, for example, when we get to the stones in the original recordings, I didn't have any mysterious magic stones in there. I think magic stones of mystery? I don't know, the golem ones, the golem ones, which would be great. And at the time of recording this preface, there still hasn't been like a for sure answer or changes to the CR to say, yeah, when it says gains all resonator types, it means all resonator types in the game, all 240, 52, 151 Pokemons, you know? So, the addition of these stones are going with the assumption that it works with all 244 or whatever different resonator types, because one of its activate ability is tap one light into it, banish this magic stone, grab a golem from grave, and put it to the field, or to your hand? Well, one of the two. And of course, there are no golems that are really all that good in rotation, or at all, other than maybe Gear Atmos. But if, I was about to say Athenia, Jesus. If Alice does have every resonator type at all times, this will be good. But on that being said, it's also a good combination with getting her full abilities off, because it gives us a more organic sack mechanic to get a stone into grave without having to use the Atom Resonator. And on top of that, it also says on the card, on the Mysterious Magic Stone, that it is treated as a light magic stone. So when using that with Angel of Zeus or Zeus's Angel, whatever it is, it can actually tap for blue as well, because it is a light magic stone. But yeah, little things like that, just the little changes. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll pass it off to past me and Dayman. What's wrong with you?
I don't even know. I didn't even intend to.
Did you seriously just wait for me to start the video to do that?
No, it just happened.
You
oh
like,
my God, my
your
head.
body like was in it, dude. You like swang with the motion. You're like, ah!
Oh my fucking God.
Are you okay?
Oh my
That
God.
sounded painful.
No, it's all good. That was really funny timing.
I'm not gonna lie, man. If I was watching this video, I'd just assume you just shit yourself.
You're gonna edit that out, right?
No. This is staying in.
No.
This is gonna be the Brunhild deck update and Dayman shitting his pants episode.
Fuck you, I didn't do that.
Okay. Hey guys, it's me, Master Fija, and my buddy
Dayman.
and we're gonna show you guys my updated Brunhild deck.
It's jank build.
It's not really janky though.
No, it's not.
It's what it did before, but better. There's one card in here.
It did the thing, but it did the thing more.
Yeah, it really did. I feel like it's more consistent than before, just because I've got the ability to produce blue with that angel, and that's really the angel and Alice.
Something else. What did she do?
It prevents me from having to banish stuff.
If you have the stuff in
If I have the prerequisites for Alice in there.
Okay, and you're doing it by a different method other than doing the whole run Adam and...
Yeah, just because I love the the remove from game mechanic that I have with light and water in Brunhild. So this is actually, other than Gil Alhamat back in the day, this is probably my favorite deck. Just Diversity Brunhild. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is pre-rotation, so there's still stuff from Rhea Cluster in it, and I'm probably going to keep a version of this deck intact and play it in Wanderer with our playgroup. But
you can amp it up in Wanderer.
Yeah, I can make it even crazier. But when I do make the full rotation ready version of this deck, it's literally not going to even run this color. It's not going to be anything like this, because once you lose Diversity Palace, once you lose Spinning Aquasol, essentially the core mechanic of this deck is gone. So
you can still run a variation. Like,
I could, but it's just like you're trying to throw bad money after good money, right? Like you're trying to put in a bunch of good cards into a deck that's lost the best cards that make that mechanic work. So at that point, I'm probably just gonna make this a darkness light or a light every color deck with Dark Alice if I pull some more of them from the box that are coming in today.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I only pulled one.
That's crazy.
Right? It sucks, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
And then I'm probably just gonna go for the gimmick of Odin. Just make Odin and then make
just murder your J Rule.
Yeah, just
and then
like
bring her back to life.
You have to be the dead.
And then come back.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, oh god, this is recording upside down.
Is it?
Yeah.
Redo.
What?
Redo.
No, this part's just gonna be upside down.
Okay, this is now the beginning of the video.
Whoa! Inverse world! Now everything in our room is upside down and the camera's right side up.
What are you talking about? This is the beginning first shot?
No.
Beginning of the video.
That's good. It's good. So the Brunhild, it's updated deck. Now that we're right side up. I'm gonna do this. You know what? Now that it's right side up, I'm gonna do the deck profile backwards. I'm gonna do stones first.
Actually, it's pretty logical to do stones first.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
Do people typically do that? I always do stones last.
A lot of people actually just like load it up on like a website that has your deck list and stuff, and they're like, "This is the deck list. I'm gonna talk about stuff."
Oh.
Yeah.
That's kind of boring.
The days of like laying cards out are actually not as common anymore, apparently.
Oh.
But I think it makes sense. Do your stone base first, and then do your cards. But whatever. Is it wiggly?
No, it's not wiggly. It's just, you can just slightly see the table. In the corner.
No.
It just looks bad.
Okay.
Oh god, we're such amateurs.
Four Magic Stones.
4 Magic Stones of Omniscience.
Yeah.
This card literally exists in this deck for the sole purpose of 1 rune in the rune deck. Ideally, if this deck is working perfectly, you want to see one of these stones either turn 1 or turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
Just.
And in Wanderer, you don't even need them.
Yeah, in Wanderer, you don't even need them, so these will be gone once I make this deck Wanderer. Then I run 4 Magic Stones of Light. The reason being the new Mana Dork Fixer color Urs only work on the basic stones, and the Angel of Zeus in this deck only works for light stones, so these ones are in here essentially to be able to tap for blue.
Yeah.
Hey, Present Fija here again. Here's the first variation that we have from the original recording of this deck. Instead of the 4 light magic stones that were just mentioned, I run 4 mysterious magic stones from the beginning of Rhea Cluster, which specifically say treat this card as a light magic stone, which is awesome. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, these work with Zeus's Angel to produce blue off of them as well. They tap to produce light, or put 1 light, tap this card, banish this card, put target golem from your graveyard to your hand. There you go. Confirmation to your hand, not field. So if they do eventually release the CR update that says Alice does in fact have all resonator types that have ever existed in the game in all zones, then this will work for that. But I'm assuming that by the time they actually release the CR, it'll already be post-rotation, and outside of Wanderer, it won't really be relevant anymore. But just a fun little idea. And then the last 2 cards are actually very specific to the new Alice, and I guess also producing blue for this deck. It's 2 Magic Stones of Chaos. They can be tapped to produce blue, or tap, banish this card, produce 2 blue, spend this will only to pay awakening costs. There are literally no awakening costs in this deck, so the sole purpose of these 2 stones are to put them into the grave and
make fucking Alice go all like crazy.
Make her go like ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ting-tang, walla-walla, bing-bang. And we're only doing this once.
Yeah.
So, 10 Magic Stone deck, pretty basic.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because you're basic.
Oh, that's not nice.
Oh, jeez.
I guess now I'll go over runes, because we've talked about stones. The rune divinity adds up to 10. I usually like to go to the maximum, but sometimes I just can't work around the divinity based on whatever the strategy of the deck is.
Maximum, so you're fine.
Yeah, but if, like you saw in my Lucifer deck earlier when we were playing, that one only goes up to 9.
Oh, weird.
I try to do 10, but sometimes it doesn't work. My first rune is Bewilder. Essentially, this exists here just for dealing with Ushuas and other dangerous swiftness resonators / Jays. Divinity 2 for 1 light. Then we've got, this is actually a new addition to the deck, Soul Resonance, Divinity 1. It's just regularly costs 1 light and 1 colorless. But if I play this from the rune area, costs 1 colorless less.
Nice.
And it's got the ability, choose 1, put target resonator from your graveyard into your hand, or put up to 3 target heroic spirit resonators from your graveyard into your hand. I don't have any heroic spirits, except for, oh no, I was gonna say except for technically Alice, but that was back when we thought that meant like all races everywhere, always.
I never thought that.
I did.
No,
I wanted to.
It was like, it makes the most sense.
I wanted to
stuff in play and engrave, maybe in removed area.
I wanted to play a 3-drop 217.
That's
217, 217. I've been so good. But no. So Soul Resonance is just a really good utility card. If you've got stuff in your grave and you've already used up all your runes, so you don't get anything back from grave with Misteltein, it's just a good card to have.
Mm-hmm. Or to grab your Misteltein if it lands in the grave.
Yeah. If you're not getting it off of Brunhild.
Yeah.
My next card in Rune is Dispel. Dispel is also...
Just take that out.
Dispel?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just because you got that stupid addition in your machine deck? Nah, Dispel is amazing, especially if you're going up against sack altar decks, or there's a lot of really nasty additions that exist right now, so it's just a necessity.
Or gain 10 life.
Or gain 10 life. So that's just baller. Another 2 divinity, so we're at 5 so far. Blade of Faith, my favorite chance, period. There's nothing else better. It's just...
Well, for her, yeah.
Yeah, for Brunhild specifically, it's just a 1 light in a Brunhild deck. And
better than Zero's Magic Light.
It is. It's actually just better. But the only thing is, did Zero's Magic Light have quick hands?
It did, but it can only remove attacking or blocking.
Oh, okay. So it was better, but had more stipulations.
Yeah, this is just that thing gone.
Yeah. And then
that thing in particular.
This is the last rune, and this is the one that the Magic Stones of Omniscience are for. It is 3 divinity, so it rounds it off to 10. Harvesting Season, chant rune, for 1 darkness and 1 colorless, but if you play it from the rune area, it's 1 colorless less. Put the top 10 cards of your deck into your graveyard, and I'll discuss this when I get into the actual deck proper, but you essentially want 3 kind of components to the strategy to get into the grave off those 10s. If not, you're going to be using another card I'll show you guys later to put stuff from your hand into grave. So that was the runes.
Super not complicated.
No, not at all. Actually, it's the way that I put it to Damon, we were having our match earlier to play test this deck, is that essentially 3 cards are utility, 1 card is aggro, and then 1 is the backbone of the strategy for the deck.
That's not really aggro, it's just removal. It's control. You're removing shit.
Whatever. I mean, like, it's an aggressive card. It's not aggro.
Aggro is like turn sideways. Like you're like a punch.
Well, my stuff is turn stone sideways and your things disappear.
Yeah,
it's
control.
Like, can you imagine if you could tap 1 stone and your dad leaves for 15 years?
Everyone like your Lucifer deck, that's control. You're controlling.
That one's pretty aggro too, though. I'm
It's
just
control.
dropping stuff on the field.
Well, you've got a finisher, but you're controlling the board, right?
Okay, here's here's the first card that's new to the deck proper.
Yay.
I run 3 of the Resonator Angel of Zeus. Angel of Zeus is a 1 light drop angel 4/4 resonator with flying. I always figured it's got flying. Treat light magic stones you control as water magic stones. Light magic stones you control gain tap to produce blue.
As long as there is a Resonator Chant, Addition, and Magic Stone in your graveyard, this card gains Quick Cast, and entities you control cannot be banished by spells or abilities your opponent controls. So, like I was saying to Dayman earlier, if I had just this card, nothing else from the new set, just this card back in the Montreal GP, I think I would have done a little bit better. Just, oh my god. So I run 3 Angels of Zeus. Then I run 3 Blades of Faith in the deck proper. I'm sure you guys know what they do.
Basically, it's like 7.
Yes. And anybody who's seen the previous renditions of this deck, it's because I run Spinning Aquasol. Actually, which is the next card. I run 3 Spinning Aquasols. I used to run 4, but I whittled it down to make more space for the new cards. But that essentially gives me another 3 plays of any of the chants in my deck, which are most likely going to be either Blades of Faith or my, what's that thing that gives you life? Spear of the Valkyries.
Yeah.
So I run 3 Spinning Aquasols. Then going off of the main diversity mechanic, I run 3 Venus Magus of the Metal Star. The only ability that she has that I actually care for is that when she hits the field, I can draw a card, which helps me siphon through the deck faster. She's a 2/2.
Multicultural.
She's multicultural. She's both a Lumerian and she's all about that history.
I thought she had 3.
Nope, just 2.
Oh.
But they're 2 that are so unique you literally don't find them on any other Resonator that people commonly play.
Yeah, true.
So if I see her in the grave or on the field and I've got my Alice on the field, I know for a fact I've got at least 2 more Resonator types. So
yeah, it's true.
Then I also run, this is a new addition to the deck, but it's not from the newest set. I run 4 of the amazing Sapling of the Treasure Tree, which has another Resonator type, which is unique, which is Treasury Item. It is a 0/1 Treasury Item Resonator with the ability tap, discard a card, remove this card from the game, and produce 3 light, which really increases the speed at which this deck performs. And it's also got pay 1 light, banish this card, destroy target addition.
Also, these 2 definitely need to be mine.
No, they don't.
Oh, okay.
Because
Thought that would work.
Nope. Sorry, your powers of persuasion need some work.
Damn. Wait, what about if I wave my hand in front of your face?
Whoa, how did I get here?
Whoa.
Oh, suddenly want to give you 2 of my cards.
These aren't the droids I'm looking for.
Oh my god, shut the hell up. I run 3 Messengers of the Sun. It is a 1 light and 1 colorless 2/4 human Resonator. That's another Resonator type, so we're up to 4 so far. Actually 5 if we include Angel from Angel of Zeus. Whenever you play a rune, draw a card. Super awesome for keeping my hand fairly large in this deck. And banish this card, destroy target addition. Again, super important, especially going up against like Misty Springs and Sack Altar, stuff like that. Yeah, I used to run 4, now I run 3.
Yeah, it's good.
Whittled them down a bit. Another card that I used to run 4 of that I run 3 of now is the March Hare of Valhalla. He is a Fairy Tale Were-Rabbit, which brings our total up to 7 for Resonator types in the deck so far. He is a 6/6 for 2 light, with the abilities Rune 2, gain Drain, and Rune 4, this card gains +3/+3. With all the buffing that happens because of Diversity Palace and because of other stuff like Ares. Ares is a thing. Ares is a stuff. This guy gets stupid big, and the Drain keeps you in the game. I think I either ran 2 or 3 of the Kingdom of Diversity Light Palace when I had my GP deck. I can't remember. It is a 1 light and 1 blue addition. It gives a 1/1 buff to all Resonators for each Resonator type on the field, which I think right now we're at 7. And then it gives all keyword abilities that your J ruler has to all Resonators on the field as long as you have your J on the field. So I run 4 of those. The reason why I run so many of them is because I need to get 1 in the grave and I need to have 1 on the field ideally to get the most out of this deck.
So you do it by either milling 10 or like banishing your messenger to blow up your own addition when you don't need that buff anymore?
Yes. So either I get lucky off the first, off of harvesting season, or I sack it from hand for Tree's ability, or I blow it up with my own either Dispel or with Messenger of the Sun. But ideally, you don't want to do that.
Yeah. It's like last ditch effort.
Yes. Actually, I was going to do that in the last match that we had against your updated machine deck, but
Well, partially updated.
Yeah, partially updated. He doesn't have his new cards, he just has proxies. So far we've seen one of the 3 essential pieces for the perfect like turn 4, turn 5 play, which is Kingdom of Diversity. You want to get one of those off of the harvesting season into your grave off those 10 cards. Another good rune that I run for keeping you in the game, because you're going to take a lot of damage with this deck. A lot of the decks I've been doing lately, like updating, they take a lot of damage early game, and they just gain a life back later if you can make it to turn 4 or later. I run 4 of the Spear of the Zalkyries. Yeah, I never run this in a rune deck, so we don't care about the first part. This card deals damage equal to the highest attack among J resonators you control to target J/resonator. If you control a Valkyrie, which you do at all times with Brunhild, you gain that much life. The tricky thing about that card is that it needs to have a proper target. You can't just have it just like do a thing and then you won't gain the life, right? At first we thought that's how it worked, but it's not. It's not. It actually has to do the damage.
Which makes sense.
It does, but for some reason we thought otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, here is another fantastic new card to the deck, and the second piece of our perfect turn 4, which is Alice, the Zeus Incarnate.
For a second I thought all of those were full art. I was like, holy hell.
That'd be crazy, hey? No, I just pulled 1 full art. And wasn't a god pack, just a regular pack.
Oh, nice.
She is a 3-drop for 1 light, 1 blue, and 1 colorless, 8/8 Fairy Tale High God Resonator, which puts our total at 8 so far. This card gains all races in all zones, which includes removed. I think so. I think that's a zone, right?
It is, but like it's outside the game.
Oh my god! I just made a realization.
Oh.
It says all races in all zones. It doesn't specify J's or resonators. So I've technically been going 1 less than I should so far. I should have had Valkyrie in there too. Well, shucks, ladies and gents.
All races in all zones.
All races in all zones. This is a J zone.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I just had a pro gamer move right here. Big brain move. Realization. So technically, I have 11 total in this deck, not just 10.
Possibly.
And then you yeah, I think that makes sense.
Sounds right.
The comment in the bottom, if you guys know, because technically I would also get Valkyrie if my suspicions are correct. And then she's got 2 more abilities. As long as they're a Resonator, Chant, Addition, and Magic Stone in your graveyard, which obviously you can get off of Magic Stone of Chaos. We can mill the Kingdom, and then you'll always get a Chant and a Resonator. I've never not gotten a Chant and a Resonator. Can you imagine if I got like all 4 of the additions?
But you're like, nobody's killing my Resonator.
I've got so many Resonators!
Well, you can banish your own messenger.
That's true. What if I didn't get any messengers? They're all at the bottom.
Good.
What if I milled 10 Chants? What are the chances? Okay. So she gains Drain, Eternal, First Strike, Flying, Precision, and Swiftness, which if I'm
you
not...
have all the things out, and then suddenly she grows like 6 arms, and they all have swords on them, and she's like...
Exactly.
Including one in her mouth.
Jesus, that's scary.
Yeah.
And then her third ability is tap 1 of every color, remove target entity from the game. Unfortunately, I didn't pull enough Dark Alices to put that into the deck, but
shucks.
Right? But
man, I wish you had the ability to just remove shit for 5.
I'm gonna do that once I make it rotation ready.
No, stop that.
Here with another change from the original recording of this deck, guys. In the first version, as you guys just saw, I actually was running 4 copies of Spear of the Zalkyries. The change that I made since then is that I've actually whittled down the number of Spear of the Zalkyries to 3, and the next card I went over was the new Alice. And that one, to fill in that extra slot that I just got rid of for the Spear of the Zalkyries, I bumped up to 4 copies of. Another thing that I failed to mention in the first recording of this deck was one of the subset abilities that she gains once you have all the different card types, Resonator, Chant, Addition, and Stone in your graveyard, is that she also gains a continuous +2/+2. It's not huge, but it can make the difference, because once Diversity Palace leaves and she's not getting any other like mega buffs from all the different Resonator types and all the different zones, she's essentially just going to become a 10/10 with that additional +2/+2. So yeah, here's another change. So again, going off of the 3 pieces that we need engrave, ideally we want at least 1, though 2 Alices engrave would be great, 1 of the kingdoms, and then I will show you guys the last one once we get there. Another update to the deck is adding an additional Ares. I used to only run 2, now I run 3. Ares, the Night God Emperor of the Burial Grounds. Holy crap, that's a mouthful. So we've got Deity, which brings our total up to, I think, 9 now, if we don't include Valkyrie. So he's a Deity Resonator. He's a 10/8 for 4, 2 lights and 2 colorless, though he technically recycles 2 light if it doesn't get canceled upon entering, because he's got enter, produce 2 light. Other light resonators, which is every resonator in this deck, gain another +2/+2 blanket buff, and then as long as there are 4 or more runes revealed from your rune area, they gain +4/+4 instead. Okay, and this is the last piece of the combination that we want on an ideal turn 4 or turn 5. Misteltein, the Pious Sword Saint. I run 4 of them for a total cost of 5, 2 light and 3 colors. She's a 12/12 human wanderer. This brings, with wanderer, it brings our total resonator types in the deck up to 10. Enter, you may pay 1 light and 1 colorless less to play your next rune this turn. Whenever you play a rune from your rune area, put target resonator with total cost 3 or less from your graves to the field. Whenever this card blocks or is blocked by a resonator, destroy that resonator. So ideally what you want to do is turn 2, you play Harvesting Season, you get at least 1 chant and 1 resonator. You want 1 Kingdom of Diversity, 1 Alice, and 1 Misteltein. Then you can either do some silly stuff with Tree and get the combination off turn 3, or just do it turn 4 or later with just regular stones. You flip over Brunhild. Brunhild calls Misteltein. Misteltein plays one of your runes for cheaper. You can literally play any of the runes other than Harvesting Season. Let's say you play a Blade of Faith. That causes her second ability to go off. You get Alice to the field. If you've got the Chaos Stone, you sack the stone, and you've just got a bunch of goofy shit, and the deck works really good.
It's pretty decent. I've only seen you play it a couple times, but...
Yeah. Dayman, any comments? Anything you think the deck would run into problems? And don't say rotation, or I will punch you directly in the balls.
Rotation! But I like the Chaos Stone edition. That was smart.
Yeah, do you know,
I was trying to think, what stone in light lets you banish? But...
blue. And it's nice because if I get it early-ish game and I haven't seen an angel yet, it's also within my colors, which is great. Like at first I was thinking like, do I want to put in that one like really shitty darkness stone? You have to pay 1 darkness into it and then sack it, and then it makes your opponent discard a card. Like ever since they got rid of the 1 like green stone that you can just banish it at any time, you don't have to tap it. You just banish it to draw a card or whatever.
The one for Gil.
Yeah. Oh my god, I missed that card. That card would have been great in this deck, minus it not being in the color affinity.
Yeah. It's just too broken for green. They just get it back and it's free, and fucking everybody was doing it.
Yeah. But it worked out nicely. The only thing that's kind of a bummer is that the deck doesn't run any Awakening, so I could have actually made use of its tap to sack, but
you're still making use of it. You're not using the will, but like you're using it being in the grave you're using, so
yeah.
And it's just removing your grave is going to be even harder without Evil Elemental being around, because it's still in rotation, but like afterwards you got to worry about the new Athenia.
Yes.
Pay a black to exile your grave.
Yes, but if I can get...
Or no, sorry, it goes on the bottom of your deck or something like that.
Yes. That is going to be a problem. I'll have to watch out for that. I'll probably do my best just to keep her removed from the game for as long as possible before I get all the pieces I need into the grave. But then again, if I can get the pieces off of just that, getting the Chaos Stone early enough and getting everything into the grave that I need off of Harvesting Season, then all I have to do is just drop a Dark Alice, which doesn't let them target your grave anyway, right?
Yeah, so you just gotta beat them to that.
Yeah, but that's going to be the updated version of the deck, but I probably won't even really run most of these pieces because running Diversity is going to be essentially impossible. There's no point.
Yeah.
A lot of these cards I think are going to transition to the new deck, but pretty much everything with blue is really not going to be necessary anymore. So if I redo something with Alice at the helm of the deck, it's probably going to be in an Adam deck. Just because with Adam's new Resonator makes it way easier.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, this was my updated pre-rotation version of Brunhild. This is actually probably my favorite deck that's currently in rotation, and it's going to be my second favorite deck once it rotates. Hashtag my boy, the Dragon Emperor.
You can work on a Wanderer build for it.
Yeah.
When it does, when you do rotate out of the pieces that you really like, we'll make a version of it for Wanderer.
Yeah. As usual, guys, if you want to just skip over our crazy man ramblings, the whatever's is in the description, the deck list. Try it out. Tell me if you guys find better ways of making it better, and I will see you in the next thingamajig.
Alright, peace out.